All right, so mission accomplished. The Rockets force a game six. They avoid elimination in the playoffs alongside Jackson Gatlin from the Locked On Rockets podcast. They had the perfect game, you could say, right? At least through the first three quarters of the game. I mean, the Warriors end up waving the flag. What did you like most? Your biggest takeaway from how they played, especially offensively?
Honestly, it just felt like they came out with the right level of aggression in this game. It was kind of a thing where you've seen spurts of it where they were able to get their offense going, for a half or a quarter earlier in some of these previous games. This was easily their best offensive performance. They moved the basketball incredibly well. Alperen Sengun led the team with 9 assists, and when he's facilitating at that level, it just makes life easier for everybody else on the floor. Getting different guys involved, guys knocking out open shots certainly helps too. Steve Kerr referenced it in his post-game presser, but the Rockets were shooting something like 95% effective field goal shooting at halftime. It's really hard to lose a game when you're shooting that well.
Yeah, look, Alperen Sengun flirting with a triple-double. We talked about, especially after game one and even after game five, that Jaylen Green had to step up. Today, he didn't put up big numbers offensively as far as how many points he scored, but he looked like he was in attack mode. He was also dishing out, finding the open guy for the three. So literally the Rockets kind of just did everything they could offensively to find different ways to score and have a balanced offense. Now, speaking of Jaylen Green, he did bump his knee with Steph Curry in the first quarter. He ends up going out, comes back in, plays 28 minutes. It didn't seem to affect him in this game. How concerned are you? I know after the game he said it's okay, it's just a little bump, but can we expect it to affect him in any way?
Honestly, Jaylen's been a guy that's played through so much injury this season, right? Little bumps and bruises and all that kind of stuff. He's an Iron Man for a reason, right? So I think that for him, it's not going to be anything to worry about. He's going to be fine next game. The main thing is you want to take that aggression that he was able to display before bumping knees with Steph, right? He had an and one driving baseline, switched hands midair and got the finish through contact. That was a great first bucket of the game, kind of helped setting the tone for this team early on. A couple possessions later, knocked down a three-pointer. It felt like he was off to a strong start and that he was going to have one of those kind of, I don't want to call it vintage, but, one of those big Jaylen Green nights. And then unfortunately, he bumped knees with Steph, left the game for a little bit, came back, and other guys had it rolling offensively. So he didn't really have to step up to the plate as much in this game as he did necessarily in game 2 when he dropped 38. But definitely take that aggression, take that same mentality from the beginning of this game and apply it to game 6 on the road, because we didn't see that version of Jaylen Green in the San Francisco area, and that's the version they're going to need to be able to win game 6 and bring it back here for a game 7.
The fact that Jaylen Green was able to come back into the game twice, because the starters came back in the fourth quarter when the lead was cut down to 17 points from 30, I think that says it all. It's not really bothering him now. The next few 48 hours or so, it's going to be all about treatment, make sure that he's okay, rest, and be ready for game 6. Now, for the Rockets, in order to bring it back, force a game 7, what do they have to do? Can they replicate this performance?
Yeah, I think so. You look at the defensive intensity all throughout the series. All the games have been incredibly close. This was just a game where the Rockets offense was just clicking on another level, something we haven't seen at all in this series, and something we haven't really seen a lot from this team this season. But when shots are going in like that and when guys start to feel it, they thrive on both sides of the basketball, right? This is always going to be a team that works hard defensively and will make other teams work for their stuff. In this game, they held Steph Curry to just 13 points, Jimmy Butler only 8 points, and Steph had 11 of his 13 in that second quarter. So outside of that, only 2 points for Steph Curry elsewhere in the game. So you bring that same defensive intensity and stay disciplined on those two guys in particular, make the other guys beat you, and then offensively, a lot of it's going to come down to just knocking down some shots, but as this series has gone on, it's felt like the Rockets have gotten significantly more comfortable. Amin Thompson talked about it a little bit, so did Fred VanVleet, that they feel like they're getting more comfortable as the series progresses, and that was something that I thought was going to be really important for this young team coming in. As the series moved on, getting to games 5, 6, maybe 7 down the line, right? This young team is going to get away from those playoff jitters, and they're going to start playing like the 2 seed that we saw them play as this entire season.
Yeah, after the game, Ime Udoka saying, now it's time to put some real pressure on the Warriors and bring it back home for a game 7. Rockets are hoping that game 5 wasn't only a good night offensively, but that they've maybe found something, that the game has opened up for them where they can, they've strategically be able to put this type of performance together once again. Now, in NBA postseason history, when teams are down 3-1 in the best-of-7 series, it's only happened 13 times, Jackson, when teams have overcome that deficit. But the Rockets have been the one that has done it twice, in 2015 and in 1995. So here they're hoping they're able to force a game 7 and make history once again. All right. Alongside Jackson Gatlin from the Locked On Rockets podcast, Luis Ortiz from the Toyota Center, KHOU 11 News.